Welcome to Factorization Part 3. So if you didn't watch Part 1 and Part 2, ensure that you watch them before you continue watching Factorization of Quadratic Expressions. So in this tutorial video, we're going to cover Factorization of Quadratic Expressions. Now, if you're given an expression, you just have to look at the highest degree of the variable. If the highest degree is power 2, it means that it's a quadratic expression. So in this case, we have x, or if we look at all the x's here, the x which has the highest power is x to the power 2. So x to the power 2 means that this expression is a quadratic expression, as long as here we don't have a 0 in front of the x squared. So this is a quadratic expression. Now, let us factorize this quadratic expression. So, to factorize the quadratic expression, we extract the coefficients from the quadratic expression. So, this number, which is found in front of the x squared, is called a. So this is our x squared. The number in front of x squared is called a. So our a is equal to 2. Now, you might have a question, what if we just have this x squared? Do we have a number in front of this x squared? Yes. So if there's nothing in front, it means that the number is 1. So if you're given something like this, you know that your a is equal to 1. Sometimes we can just write negative x squared. So your a is equal to negative 1, like that. We proceed. Then the number which is in front of the x which doesn't have a power, or which has power 1, is equal to that coefficient is called b. So this is our x, it has power 1, so the number is called b. So our b is positive 7. Then this number which doesn't have an x is called the constant, or c. So we say c is equal to positive 3, like that. So to solve this by factorization, to factorize this expression, we have to find what we call the product. So product is given by, get this a, you multiply it by c. So we say product is equal to a times c. Now, if we look at our a here, our a is 2 times our c is positive 3. So this means that our product will be equal to 6, like that. Then the other thing that we're supposed to get is the sum. So sum is just this number which is on the middle, this one, this, the 7. So our sum is equal to 7, like that. So these are the most important things we are supposed to get. Our product is 6 and our sum is 7. Once we get those, we are supposed to find what we call the factors. Now, factors are two numbers. Those numbers, when you multiply them, they should give you your product, which is 6. And when you add those same numbers, they should give you your sum, which is 7. So which two numbers, when we multiply them, they should give us 6. And when we add those numbers, they should give us 7. Okay? So what I know is that the possible numbers, when we multiply them to get 6, are 1 and 6. So 1 times 6, we get 6. Then the other possible numbers, we have 2 and 3, like that. 2 times 3, we get 6. 1 times 6, we get 6. So which ones are we going to pick? Are we going to pick 1 and 2 or 2 and 3? So the best option is 1 and 2. Why? Because 1 times 6 is 6. And 1 plus 6, we get 7. But let us look at the second pair. 2 times 3, we get 6. 2 plus 3, we get 5. So these, they cannot work. They don't satisfy the sum. So we pick the first pair. So our factors are 1, positive 1, and positive 6. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 plus 6, 7. Those are our factors. Now, what do we do with these factors? So we look at the original expression, this one. Okay, so we say our original expression is 2x squared plus 7x. So remove this 7x and replace it with 1 and 6. So I'm going to remove this 7x. I'll put 1x plus this is 6, the positive 6x. So I'm using positive here because this 6 is positive, and for the 1 I'm using positive 1 because 1 is positive. Okay, plus 3, like that. So this is how we write it, so that we can get 4 terms. Then we can factorize. Now look at these two middle terms, 1x plus 6x, they return us to 7x. So meaning that this expression and this one, they are just the same. We haven't changed the meaning of anything. So let us look at this expression and factorize by grouping. So we have these two. So what is common here? So we can get these 2 and these 2, like that. We are grouping. So when we look at these two, what is common? It's x, because we have x here and we have x. So which x am I going to factor out? This x, which has a smaller power. So we say x is common, then we open parentheses. Now we say 2x squared divided by x. So 2x squared divided by x, like that. So here, this and this will cancel. So we have 2. We're just going to remain with 1x on top, so 2x. So this is 2x plus 1x divided by this x. 1x divided by 1x divided by x. So this x and this x will cancel, we just remain with 1, like that, plus, then here we can also apply factorization. So we see what is common here. X is not common because x is just here, it's not on the other side. So the only thing that is common is positive 3. So we say positive 3 is common. Now we can open parentheses, then we start dividing. 6x divided by 3, so we say 6x divided by 3. 6 divided by 3, the answer is 2. So we're just going to remain with 2x. The x is not going to divide anything. So we have 2x plus, then 3 divided by 3, we have 1, like that. Okay, so when we look at this expression now, we see that this thing is identical to this one. So they are common. So we just get one of these and write down. So we say 2x plus 1, like that. Then the remaining items, we have x and positive 3. So just get this x, we open parenthesis, x positive 3, like that. We have factorized. So this is factorized completely. So we'll continue in the next video. If you have questions on this, please feel free to request for more videos. Thank you very much for watching.